Hi guys, it's David here from Right On Resources, and this video has been created to focus on punctuation. Now specifically this video is going to have a look at colons and semicolons. These are really important pieces of punctuation that help give clarity to our writing. So this video is going to help us to understand how to use punctuation and make your writing more effective. This has specifically been designed for anyone studying either functional skills or GCSE level English. So what is punctuation and how do we use it? Punctuation are the marks we use to make sense in our writing. Marks such as full stops, commas and brackets used in our writing to separate sentences and their elements and to clarify meaning. So these enable us to make our writing make more sense and to make our message clear to the reader. So how do we use it? Punctuation fills our writing with silent annotation, and what we mean by this is that it allows the reader to get a good sense of where the pauses and where we need to take breaks in the writing, so it feels more natural, like a normal conversation. We pause, stop, emphasize or question using a comma, a period, an exclamation point or a question mark. Correct punctuation adds clarity and precision to our writing, and it allows the writer to stop, pause or give emphasis to certain parts of the sentence. Look at the punctuation pyramid and attempt the challenges that follow. So if you haven't seen this before, a punctuation pyramid shows us all the different ranges of punctuation that you should be able to use in your writing, especially if you want a high grade at GCSE English. At the top of the pyramid, we have quite simple and basic punctuation, things like our full stop and question mark, and as we go further down you can see they're getting more advanced. The first thing I'd like you to do is to pause the video and try and identify the different forms of punctuation. Hopefully all of these different forms of punctuation will be things that you're already familiar with. If not, don't worry too much. This video and other videos on our channel will go through them in more detail. Then I'd like to think about the super challenge. So how confident do you feel about the different forms of punctuation? Which ones would you actually use on a day-to-day basis or whenever you do a writing exam or a writing challenge in your normal lessons? And the mega challenge is which level of the pyramid would get the most marks in your writing. So out of all of these, what level do we need to reach in order to get the highest marks in our exam? If you'd like to pause the video now and try and familiarise yourself with it, then please feel free to do so. And we'll just go through these together. Okay, so starting off, nice and simple, you have the full stop. Second one down, you have the full stop and the question mark. Then we've got the full stop, question mark, comma and exclamation mark. And now we get into a little bit more advanced, so the mega challenge is what this really kind of addresses here. So which level of the pyramid would get you the most marks in the writing? And we're talking about these bottom two rows here. So we can see there that the bottom two rows has all of the different things from the previous levels included in it, but we've also got higher level forms of punctuation. One that a lot of people struggle with is this one, the ... That is called ellipses, and it's often used as a cliffhanger or to indicate a pause or a break in speech. We have an apostrophe, which is often used to show possession or to omit words, and we have speech marks there as well. We're looking at the second from bottom triangle there in the pyramid. You can see there on the very last one, we have even more advanced ones. We have a dash, we have brackets, also known as parentheses, and we also have a colon and a semicolon. And these two forms of punctuation, the colon and the semicolon, is what is going to form the main basis of the video today. So what is a colon and how do we use them in our writing? So the colon is a punctuation mark consisting of two equally sized dots placed one above the other on the same vertical line. A colon often precedes an explanation, a list, or to introduce a quoted sentence. So that's all well and good knowing what a colon is, but how do we actually use this in our writing? So a colon is used to give emphasis, present dialogue, introduce lists or texts, and clarify composition titles. Emphasis capitalises the first word after the colon only if it is a proper noun or at the start of a complete sentence. If that still seems a little bit confusing to you, if you'd still like a bit of further clarity, what we're going to do now is have a look at a few examples on the next slide. Now we're going to see a few examples where a colon can be used effectively. So if we have a look at the first example then, it says, this house has everything I need. 2 bedrooms, a backyard and a garage. And you can see there that the colon in this case has been used as a list, and as it goes through the certain things that the house has, which meets the requirements of the speaker as well. Number 2, I have several favourite genres of movies, drama, science fiction and mystery. Number 3, I brought a lot of meat at the store, bacon, turkey, chicken and tuna. And the final one, number 4, he wanted to see 3 cities in Italy, Rome, Florence and Venice. So you can see from all of those examples there, we're using the colon whenever we're trying to think of an extended list that we need to say in our writing. What I'd like you to do now is try and stretch and challenge yourself and write your own sentence using colons appropriately. If you're not too sure how to do this, have a look back over the examples and see if you can emulate or copy some of the examples or similar examples to those ones yourself. So what is a semicolon and how do we use them? So a semicolon is a punctuation mark indicating a pause typically between 2 main clauses that is more pronounced than indicated by a comma. So when we say 2 main clauses, essentially we mean 2 ideas. So 2 ideas that we're expressing together that will be quite closely linked, and we separate these 2 ideas with the semicolon. A semicolon is most commonly used to link in a single sentence 2 independent clauses or 2 independent ideas that are closely related in thought. When a semicolon is used to join 2 or more ideas in a sentence, those ideas are given equal position or rank. So it's about joining together 2 different ideas that are quite closely related, and the semicolon allows us to link those ideas together. Now we're going to go through a few examples just like we did in the previous slide, but this time we're going to have a look at semicolons. As we look through each one, try to secure your understanding of how to use a semicolon appropriately, and then consider the stretch and challenge task at the top here to try and write your own sentence using semicolons appropriately. The more we practice using colons and semicolons, the more they'll come naturally to us when we come to do a writing task. So the first one says, I have a big test tomorrow. I can't go out tonight. Number 2, we can go to the museum to do some research. Mondays are pretty quiet there. Number 3, I ordered a cheeseburger for lunch. Life's too short for counting calories. And number 4, call me tomorrow. You can give me an answer then. So you can see there with each example, we have 2 separate clauses, which means 2 separate ideas, but they are linked because they're still talking about the same kind of topic here. So again, number 1, I have a big test tomorrow. I can't go out tonight. So essentially this one is the first opening statement. I have a big test tomorrow, but this next part is still linked to the same idea. So we use that semicolon there to link our ideas. Again, if you'd like to pause the video and use this example to help write your own, please feel free to do so. We're now going to jump ahead and have a look at a writing task where you need to try and put colons or semicolons in the correct positions. Now that we've had a look at a few examples of how to use a colon, semicolon, let's have a look at an example passage and see where we need to use that punctuation to help it make more sense. So here's the example. You can see there straight away that a few forms of punctuation have already been used. I've included these in here because these are really important to help the comment or the writing to make sense. However, these are still considered to be quite low-level forms of punctuation. So we see things like exclamation marks and here and full stops, which are fairly basic and won't get you particularly high grade when it comes to do your writing, especially when it comes to GCSE as well. So I'm going to read through it. As I read through it, have a look, see where you need to put the colon and the semicolon, and if you need to pause at any point, please feel free to do so. So it says, Dear Sam, I just can't wait for the weekend. We are finally going to have a weekend away. I'm looking forward to it so much I simply can't wait to get to the resort. The hotel has a pool, a bar and even a kids club. It's going to be so much fun, we'll never want to come back home. So again, take a moment just to have a look through and see where the correct punctuation needs to be inserted. I'm going to go ahead now and have a look at the answers. So if you need to pause it, please feel free to do so now. And we're going to go ahead and see where the punctuation needs to appear in that paragraph. Check your answers against the ones below. So here we have again the same extract that we just had a look at. We still have the same forms of punctuation here in the same comma, exclamation mark and full stops. We also have the areas that need to have a colon and a semicolon. And you can also hear how our understanding of the passage changes when now it's read aloud. I just can't wait for the weekend. We are finally going to have a weekend away. I'm looking forward to it so much, I simply can't wait to get to the resort. So we can see here in this sentence that we have two clauses or two separate ideas that are linked because they're still on the same topic, and therefore we're able to link them by using the semicolon there. So I'm looking forward to it so much, semicolon, because they're linking these ideas. I simply can't wait to go to the resort or to get to the resort. The hotel has. Now we can tell straight away by the way I've actually read that we're setting ourselves up to actually list a few things that are there at the hotel, and this is indicated here by the use of the colon. So the hotel has a pool, a bar and even a kids club. So they've used a colon because we're trying to illustrate here that this is where we're going to list all the fantastic things that are available to us at this resort. It's going to be so much fun, we'll never want to go back home. Again, this one is also linked with our semicolon because the ideas are connected as well. So if you want to spend a bit more time reading back through it and seeing if you've got the correct answers, please feel free to do so. Now that you've had a look at the different forms of punctuation, it'll be a really good idea to go away and start practicing these. If you'd like some feedback or some help improving these, please leave us a comment, like and subscribe, and we'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. Also, if you'd like extra support or like to look into more punctuation or grammar, then please check out our other videos because new videos will be added every single week. If you still can't find on our channel certain videos that you're looking for, then please check out our partner channel, Bookworm Teaching, for more lessons and guidance on all things English. Thanks a lot guys, and all the best with your future revision.